right there with you. We've taken the most trusted brand in windows, Pella, and paired them with such an outstanding business that we will deliver results to you at your home. Siding Unlimited has won Pella's prestigious 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited is the company to install your new windows.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brewers return from their trip out west to face off against the Marlins at American Family Field this past weekend. After dropping the first 2 games in the series, the Brewers stole a win on Sunday with a Blake Perkins walk-off single. Here's what manager Pat Murphy had to say about having Perkins on his squad.
You know, I said to him last year one time when he was going through a rough time, I said, Perk, I got news for you, man. I will never send you down. They'll send me down before they send you down. I just love who you are. I love what you bring to the team. He's the ultimate team guy.
This week, the Brewers will host the Chicago Cubs coming up in Milwaukee, a series that could have massive implications for the NL Central race.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
At IKEA Oak Creek, we love helping you make your home uniquely yours. And now, we are making it even more rewarding with new rewards from IKEA Family. With rewards, members earn points on every purchase and extra points for things like attending qualifying IKEA family events, utilizing IKEA planning services, and much more. Then use your points for great rewards, including discounts on purchases and services, and of course, delicious food. Did somebody say meatballs? IKEA is making it more rewarding than ever to be part of our family. Not a member yet? Sign up for free at IKEA.com/US and start earning.
Let your car shine without spending a dime. Tsunami Express Car Wash is Milwaukee's fan-favorite car wash for a next-level clean. And right now, your first wash is free when you sign up online. That's our $25 top wash, packed with gloss, protection, and free bonus perks like vacuums and mat cleaners. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, New Berlin, and Mount Pleasant, it's easier than ever to get a winning wash with Milwaukee's favorite car wash team. Get your first free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Southbound on 41, going to be slow from just south of Appleton Avenue down to Hampton. And then we've got a crash on the off-ramp to Capitol Drive from southbound 41. So heads up with that. Northbound's a little tight right around the North Avenue curve. And the only other delay I'm seeing right now is on westbound 94 from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain or storms likely, 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain possible, a high of 74. Tonight, showers ending, cloudy, breezy, a low of 64. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah, Alan Crow is terrible. People knew it.
David Allen Coe?
I had no idea what you meant. Dust on the bottle? What's happening right now?
Second. Oh, my goodness. Pete Crow Armstrong had it measured about a step shy of the wall, and then he just dropped it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
First pitch. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball. The legend of Andrew Vaughn keeps growing. A grand slam. You have got to be kidding me.
I guess the question I have, Josh, is when do we put the plaque up on the wall of honor?
0-1 to Birdie. And it's a ground ball to short. Ortiz gobbles it up, throws to first in time, and the Brewers have won this series against the Chicago Cubs.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all.
If there's an image that is burned in my brain, you know, like seared, that represents last night's game, Brewers Cubs, AmFam Field, 9-3 the final. Good guys. It is Craig Counsell in the Cubs dugout, swiftly turning and heading towards the bullpen phone after our guy, Andrew Vaughn, who's been our guy for 2 weeks, by the way, 2 weeks, hit a grand slam to lock that sucker up.
I mean, I don't even think that the way you described it, I mean, he did it immediately after contact. Like, immediately after. It's not like, oh, the ball landed and now I'm going to go grab the phone. No, it's the ball off the bat. He turns to grab the phone.
Yeah, your typical bang-bang.
Yeah.
Typical bang-bang play, you know.
I mean, when I first saw it, like, I didn't see Craig right away in the background, and everyone's like, oh, he's on the bullpen phone. I'm like, yeah, he's on the bullpen phone. And then I saw it again. It's like, oh, he's watching. And then it's like, oh, okay. Well,
it's like one fluid motion.
Yes.
It's like crack of the bat.
Tremendous job by the cameraman.
Yes,
that cameraman had some hate in his heart. You could tell. He went right to counsel. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to do that.
How do you feel about that, sir? Brewers get the win. Brewers get the series. That is awesome. They'll play again today, obviously, and I'm feeling really confident because Freddie is on the hill. But this is what we talked about at the beginning of the year. Just win series. Just win series. Gabe, we went into this on Monday, and you said it can only be a big series if they sweep. Brewers obviously won the first game, so they were the only team in position to do just that. But today, it feels big considering the standings. When you consider you're going head-to-head and you have a 2-game lead on the Cubs, could push it to 3 with a win today, it feels significant, no?
Yeah, if you can close it out and go for the sweep. Like, right now, it's a really good series. Right now, it's a really good series. It can be a great series if you go out and win today. Because, again, you go out and if the Cubs are able to pull this one off today, all right, then it's just a 1-game lead going into tomorrow. But if you're able to push that to 3, and then on top of that, just continue to try to put that gap between the two of you in the overall season series, just between the two, heading into the 5-game set that they've got coming up in August down there in Wrigley, like, that's huge too. Because you never know how this is going to end up. And if you end up with that tie, you want to have the tiebreaker. There's no game 163 like we had back in 2018. Go down to Wrigley, win games 163, and continue the roll. No, that does not exist this year. So winning that head-to-head tiebreaker, just in case you end up tied at the end of the year, would be huge.
And we talked earlier this week. If you missed it, you can find all of our shows on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We talked earlier this week about how you got to make hay in these head-to-heads. Again, remedial. This is 0-0-1. But the Cubs have one of the easiest schedules in the second half of the season. I think we compared it. They have like the, 27th?
They've got a much easier schedule than the Brewers. That's the only thing I specifically remember.
And
Brewers
the Brewers
are middle of the pack.
16th, I think I remember it being. And the Cubs were like way, way, way down the list as far as difficulty goes. They had the 27 most difficult schedule remaining.
The more the Brewers win, they got 5 against the Brewers. That winning percentage is going to keep going up.
It's a very good point.
Maybe they've climbed up to like 26th and 25th after all these Brewers wins.
So there is that, and of course it is you got to continue to win series. But the way this team is playing right now, we had talked about how the game went with the Miz on the mound and him bouncing back, and Christian Yelich saying it was his favorite start by the kid so far because of the way he handled the adversity. And all Quinn Priester has done is go out there and crush it as well. Now, a very different type of pitcher, Gabe, but there's a part of me that feels like that variance in your rotation is also a strength.
Oh, yeah, because you have this depth, you have these different things. Like, Priester's not going to overpower you. He's just a ground ball machine. He just induces ground ball after ground ball with that sinker, which is great because of that, he's pitching to contact a little bit more. And again, I wish you could have gotten through all 6, but you getting through last night's game with just 2 pitchers after having to use the bevy
Huge,
that you did.
Enormous. Yes, great point.
It saves the bullpen because now also, I mean, when that game was tight, when the game was tight yesterday and the Brewers are, they're up 2-1, then they score 3, and then the Cubs come back with the 1 on the top of the 6. Okay, 5-2, all right. And you're going to have to keep using, those arms in the bullpen. Giving McGill, Abner, guys like that the day off, now you can use them again today if needed to go for that sweep.
Yeah.
If you needed them again last night, and it would have been iffy if you wanted to use McGill last night because it would have been the 3rd time in 3 days, and I know we only threw 3 pitches on Monday night. Like that's all that goes into it. It's why it's difficult to sweep a series during the regular season because you just don't know what that bullpen's going to look like. having that grand slam give them the distance that they needed was huge, A, because everybody's going crazy and the stadium's erupting and everybody's celebrating, but also it just allowed Ashby to go out there and close out the game. We only had to use 2 guys, fresh bullpen. Hopefully Freddie goes 6 or 7, and then you just need the back end of the bullpen giving some more rest before you leave Milwaukee for a road trip. But it was just awesome and great all the way around.
And I want to give Ashby his credit because this is a guy who was in the rotation, who probably wanted to be a starting pitcher, but we talked about the Savale thing. Ashby, they said, hey, we got to move you to the bullpen, right? It serves the team's needs better to have you in the bullpen. And then in a game like yesterday, he goes out and tosses 3 1/3 innings. And like you said, saves the bullpen or keeps them from having to go into it again after they used a ton of guys the night before. Like, that's a team player, right? And he probably deserves more props, probably deserves more credit for accepting that role and now being hugely clutch in that role than we have given him. He's sort of an afterthought when you talk about a lot of the arms and you talk about the way that
between him and Dia Hall, and there's still potential. The Brewers are going to be losing some starting pitchers potentially at the end of the season. Guys like Quintana's on a 1-year deal. Nestor Cortez is going to be a free agent. So these are younger arms that the Brewers have that they've got an opportunity potentially next year to be back in the rotation. Right now, having those guys that, D.L. Hall just pitched an inning, but he can go multiple innings. Ashby, he can be a lefty specialist, or he can pitch 3 1/3 like he did last night. Having that versatility in your bullpen in today's baseball where starters aren't going as long is huge. It's just big to have that versatility, and it goes unnoticed a lot because bullpen, unless you're the closer, and maybe you're a setup guy that's got a sexy pitch, a lot of the bullpen guys don't get a lot of credit, don't get a lot of attention. But the way that the Brewers have their bullpen set up, it's why it's such a strength of this team.
All right, we have waited long enough to laud, obviously, the king of Milwaukee right now, one Andrew Vaughn. I put together my Vaughn power rankings last night. Andrew was above Veronica. Andrew was above Ricky. Andrew was above Vince. And Andrew was above Mo. I did hear from a lot of you who said, where the hell is Greg? And I thought,
that's on you. That's on you. You overlook Greg Vaughn. That's fine. But I mean,
it's on me. I'll wear it.
You should wear it. You should wear it.
I don't feel real bad about it, if I'm being honest, but you're saying I should.
You should.
You should feel bad.
You should feel bad.
Leaving Greg Vaughn off of the power rankings of Vaughn's. What he has been doing, Andrew Vaughn, that is unconscious. Like, it is like, you cannot believe. If I were to sell you this story, you would be like, it's a little too far-fetched for me to buy. I remember when he got here, I said, could he be the bat? He has been the bat. I don't know if he will be the bat, but he has been the guy that this Brewers lineup needed, where I can't even put it into words how impressive and unique what Andrew Vaughn has done with the Brewers since he was acquired. I think it was July 14th. Is that right? Dude's been with the team for 2 weeks.
No, so he got called up on July 7th. So his first game with the Brewers was on July 7th.
3 weeks.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know the specific date of the trade because he was in the minor leagues when they acquired him. They kept him in the minors for a couple of weeks before they called him up, and he made his debut against the Dodgers on July 7th.
So can you put into perspective, Gabe, just how unique what Andrew Vaughn is doing with the Brewers is?
So a stat that I really like because it just kind of simplifies everything. And if you go to the ballpark, you see the Brewers put OPS up on the scoreboard, right? And if you're not a baseball nerd, sometimes that's hard to follow. So Baseball Reference normalizes the stat to OPS plus. 100 is average. In his time, in his 5 seasons with the Chicago White Sox, his OPS plus was 97. He was the definition of an average player, slightly below average, in those 5 seasons. So right now with the Brewers, and this does not include last night's game because unfortunately Baseball Reference doesn't update quickly enough. So this number is only going up higher after going 3 for 4 with the grand slam and 6 RBIs last night. His OPS plus is 213. Aaron Judge, who is, the best hitter in baseball, injured right now on the IL. His is 218. Cal Raleigh is the front runner for the American League MVP. Leads the league with 41 dingers. 181. Shohei Ohtani, fantastic hitter. front runner for the MVP in the National League, 177. Pete Crow-Armstrong is second somehow in the National League in MVP voting, or MVP odds. His is 141. So basically, Andrew Vaughn, over the last 15 games for the Milwaukee Brewers, has somehow morphed into Aaron Judge. That's what he has done for the Milwaukee Brewers over the last 15 games. He has been Aaron Judge. So they've taken Aaron, they basically took that and threw it in the middle of their lineup. And when you have Aaron Judge in the middle of a lineup, it suddenly makes a lot more sense as to why this team is winning as many games as they are.
And as we still creep towards the trade deadline, and there has been no other big move, obviously we got the catcher, so we talked about that. I can't help but wonder if the Brewers are looking at Andrew Vaughn as the guy. And I know it's not sustainable. This level of production is not sustainable over the remainder of the course of the season. We know that. But is it possible, Gabe, that they are looking at him going, well, he has been everything we could have wanted and asked for and dreamed of, and therefore we are more comfortable standing pat at the trade deadline?
I wouldn't be. And again, like you said, this is not sustainable. I mean, you hope he doesn't go all the way back to what he was with the White Sox. Maybe he levels off to what he was doing in the 16 games where he was in the minor leagues, hitting 260, a slugging of 838, which would be a number that would lead this Brewers team because they don't have that power. So I would still be looking to add a bat because why not? And then maybe, again, he's not going to continue to be Aaron Judge. Maybe he levels off and falls down to something else. And the Brewers know that he's not going to continue to be Aaron Judge. So why not? What's better than having Aaron Judge in the lineup? How about having Aaron Judge and Eugenio Suarez in the lineup?
Especially in the playoffs when pinch hitters are so pivotal.
Oh, yeah.
No team has ever said we have too many good bats.
Oh, hey, Will.
Hey,
how's
guys.
it going back there?
Doing good. How are you?
Joshy out today, Chewy out today, Will holding it down behind the glass.
That's a great point. Nobody is... What's wrong with having bats? What's wrong with having a couple of guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark?
And I agree with your point on its premise. But my question to you is there a chance that the Brewers are looking at it going, this has worked out way better than we thought it would? Or maybe they would say, this is how we thought it would work out. We knew that this guy needed a change of scenery. We knew he was a top draft pick.
There are zero people in that front office that went, because if they thought that they traded for Aaron Judge, he's not going down to AAA. They're calling him up right away. He's in the lineup immediately.
Do you think that what he has done, Andrew Vaughn, gives them more confidence if, that's a big if, they aren't able to pull the trigger and swing the deal for Suarez?
He helps them feel good about the team, certainly. But especially as numbers driven as the front office can be, they know this isn't sustainable. Because again, there's only one guy in baseball who can do this. And Andrew Vaughn has shown over 5 years he's not Aaron Judge. So, yeah, again, hopefully he levels off. And it's still going to be much, much better than whatever he was with the White Sox. But you're still going to need more help. You're still going to, having another bat in the lineup, go get somebody. Again, maybe this makes them a little bit hesitant picking up a first baseman. I know Ryan O'Hearn has been a name that's been floated out there from the Baltimore Orioles, and O'Hearn is a left-handed bat, and he basically only plays first base. Yeah, you can throw him in the outfield, but the Brewers have done that at times with putting a subpar outfielder in and try to get at bats. I think it would scare them away from a first base bat. I don't think it should scare them away from Eugenio Suarez, who did not play last night for the Diamondbacks. I can't imagine after the scare he had, he's going to be in the lineup for anybody until he is either traded or somebody does not meet the demand for the Diamondbacks, and then he's back in the lineup on Thursday night.
800-990-3776 is what Andrew Vaughn is doing for the Brewers in the lineup, which is, again, unheard of. Is that making you feel like maybe they don't need to add a bat by the trade deadline? Let us know, 800-990-3776. We'll put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll as well. And there's a lot to still dig into on that Brewers win, on the series win over the Cubs. So we will continue that conversation right after this. Adam Schefter coming up this morning as well. Stick around. It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Milwaukee just got hotter. And, of course, we're not just talking about that first baseman. We're announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. Ewald will beat your best price by $500 or they'll pay you $500 cash guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss the Ewald Buys of Summer sales event. It's going on right now. You should trust Ewald the way I have since I moved to Milwaukee all the way back in 2013. There's only one place to trust because you know you're going to be taken care of. That's Ewald Automotive. See dealer details. Expires at month end. It always starts at ewaldauto.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are still rolling along pretty well out there. No major issues. Just one accident on the off-ramp from 41 southbound to Capitol Drive. Just keep that in mind. We are seeing a little bit of a delay from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. Other than that, everything else looks good. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain or storms likely, half inch to an inch of rain, a high of 74. Tonight, showers ending, cloudy, breezy, a low of 64. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
So this is going to be, I think, a total win-win. Zach Tom gets the biggest signing bonus. He's going to average $22 million a year. He's locked up for 5 years now.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
But Green Bay showed yesterday why they are a self-sustaining operation and a world-class organization because they know what the hell they're doing.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart. The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment. The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's. To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh. You know owning a home is one of the best investments you can make, but keeping it comfortable, energy efficient, and looking great, that takes a little extra work. But this summer, Universal Windows Direct is making it easy to finally tackle that project with an offer you can't pass up. Right now, you get to choose your offer. Pick the one that works for you. Payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My father would always say, and there's a rhyme and a reason to it, he said, if you wear your rubbers in the house, you'll go blind. Do the two youngsters on the show here even know what rubbers are? I'm talking the ones that go over the shoes.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I am so glad that Aaron Savale demanded that trade. swing and a miss from Dansby Swanson, and it's 0-1.
That's Lane Grindle a couple nights ago, as we continue to all witness and marvel at the success.
That was before the ridiculousness of last night.
That was before the Grand Slam last night. I was folding clothes, watching the game. That's what I tend to do, try to get some chores done, because I'm always multitasking, right? We're always multitasking over here. And I was listening to the radio broadcast on my phone, but I had it on the television. I don't know why. Radio broadcast 2 seconds ahead of the television broadcast. So I hear the crack of the bat, and I hear the excitement and the level raising, and then I look over at the TV and I go to Dario, I go, watch this, because he wasn't listening to the radio. I had it right there next to me, and he goes, are you ahead? Why are you ahead? And then sure enough, that happens, and it was a great moment. What Andrew Vaughn has done, it really cannot be put into words. Gabe, I believe you found another statistical anomaly when it comes to our guy Andrew Vaughn that really puts into perspective what he has done in his time with the Milwaukee Brewers.
So this come across my timeline earlier this morning. OptaStats is the name of the account. Only 2 MLB players have put up the following numbers over their first 10 home games with a new team since RBI became official in 1920. 475 plus batting average, 1,000 plus slugging, 15 plus RBI. The 2 names on the list are Barry Bonds with the Giants in 1993. Barry's pretty good, right? I thought he was all right. And Andrew Vaughn with the Brewers in 2025.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
It's good company.
I feel it's like a Kirchian stat because it's so like specific, and you always hear Kirchian talking about this stuff on ESPN and ESPN radio. But like, I don't care how specific you get. If the list is you and Barry Bonds, it's an outrageous list to be on.
So now, of course, it brings up that whole storyline that we led with, which is none of this happens if Savale doesn't request a trade. So I love that Will today was like, should we start building the statue? And I said, to Andrew Vaughn? He said, no. To Savale, right? This reminds me of who was the dude back in the day. I always forget his name. It'll come to me. The kid, the football player from the Arizona Cardinals who punched the Packers ticket to the playoffs. I think they were playing the Vikings. Nate Poole. Where we gave Nate Poole the keys to the city in Green Bay because of his role in helping the Packers get to the playoffs. That feels a little like this. Like Savale is out there, existing with the White Sox now. Like, hope you're having a great time. But if he doesn't request a trade, they never pull the trigger. They never bring Andrew Vaughn here, and we are not enjoying the run that you just compared to Barry Bonds with the Giants in 1993.
Yeah, it's thank you, Aaron Savale. I think there were some hard feelings initially, right? Kind of seemed like it. Like, why would you want to get traded from this team? This team's starting to put it together, figure it out. Why wouldn't you want to be with us? All right, fine, we'll trade you. And just to take a flyer on a kid, on Andrew Vaughn, for him to do what he's done, I still can't believe it. Over the course of 15 games, what he has been able to do in being just the center and juggernaut of this Brewers lineup. Really, again, the great run that they went on before and then after the All-Star break, a lot of it had to do with him. His first game was against the Dodgers here in Milwaukee. He was a part of all 6 games of sweeping the Dodgers, and it's unbelievable what he's had. He's only had 3 hitless games in the 15, so
Crazy.
12 of the 15 he's had hits.
Crazy.
To be able to drive in the amount of runs that he's been able to do. They've only lost 3 games with him in the lineup. They lost against Seattle, and they lost back-to-back games against
Marlins,
Miami.
right?
Yeah.
I am looking at some numbers here, and it's interesting to try to figure out why it's been so different for him in Chicago. And obviously people will point to the old, change of scenery. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery. But also he is making better decisions at the plate. His chase rate from when he was with the White Sox has dropped from 36.1% to 22.5%. His in-zone swing rate has gone up from 63 to 73, and his hard hit rate has skyrocketed from 30 to 45.5. Like, so he's just making better decisions. I don't know if that is Brewers hitting coaches that have kind of honed it in a little bit for him or what. But like when you look at those numbers, he is just simply making better swing decisions since joining the Brewers, Gabe.
He had 7 walks in 48 games with the White Sox. He has 7 walks in 15 games with the Brewers.
Yeah. I saw somebody also mentioning the RBI that he had during his time with the White Sox.
He had 19.
Which, again, it is hard when your teammates are not getting on base, right?
Sure.
Like, it's not all on him when you talk about RBI. But the RBI that he had with his White Sox in the final month of his career, I think, he had already eclipsed that, a week in with the Brewers.
Oh, yeah. So, he's already eclipsed. So, again, he played 48 games this year with the White Sox. He had 19 RBI. Do you know what he's at right now for the Brewers?
No, but I would love to hear this number.
21. What? 21 in 15 games. He's driven in 21. So when you combine all of his numbers, over half of his games, or half of his RBI have come with the Brewers, despite playing like a quarter of his games with the Brewers.
All right, so very quickly, before we get to Adam Schefter, who's going to join us this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins is their first baseman. He has been, but he's been dealing with, a thumb injury? I can't keep all the injuries straight, but he's been dealing with a thumb injury. So when he comes back, if Vaughn continues, and doesn't even match this outrageous stretch, but if he continues to be a better than average player, right? His wins above replacement and whatnot, what do they do? Do they keep Vaughn in? Do they go back to Hoskins, who, by the way, has just his numbers at the beginning of the season, and then maybe it was the thumb. Maybe he was dealing with that, and he wasn't, 100% healthy. But right now, the Brewers have a dilemma on their hands with what to do at first base.
They gave an update yesterday. They're hoping for a rehab assignment in late August. So we're over a month away from figuring this out. And it's funny, in baseball, a lot of times these things figure themselves out. And even if it's just kind of like Will said before, nobody's ever said, oh, man, we got too many good bats. What are we going to do? We probably should just trade away some of our good bats. No, having an experienced veteran hitter like Rhys Hoskins, who's been an emotional leader at times for this team, having him around is going to be a good thing. If Andrew Vaughn is still swinging a great bat a month from now, it's a nice problem to have. Now, it stinks that both of them play first base and there's not a lot of versatility in either of their games, but you got to play Christian Yelich a little bit more in the outfield. Give William Contreras a little bit more time off. When he's catching, he's not DHing. It's not a bad thing to have. If you go, oh, well, what if we've got the DH? What if we put both Hoskins and Vaughn in the lineup? One DHs, one's playing first base. It is a good problem to have if you are the Milwaukee Brewers. It's something that, again, Rhys Hoskins is going to be on this team. They're not just going to cut him. They're not going to cut him loose. They'll find a way to split up the at-bats. You trust the front office, you trust the manager of the year in Pat Murphy, and they're going to make this thing work. That is only a good thing, in my mind, for Rhys Hoskins to be healthy.
Hunter weighing in on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776. Can we make fawn over Vaughn a thing? You know how I like a good pun.
Yeah, I know you
know
do.
how I like a good rhyme.
Yeah, I know.
It's very Physicality.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
Hashtag fawn over Vaughn. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. What are we doing with it?
It's clever.
When you say you want to make it a thing, how is it a thing? How are we using it?
Maybe we did just make it a thing by mentioning it on the radio, by mentioning it to our loyal listeners. Fawn over Vaughn. That's the name of a segment.
Instead of Vaughn's Valley, like they used to have at the old county stadium.
I'm not familiar with that either.
That's why Greg Vaughn didn't make your list. That we're fawning over, fawn over Vaughn. That's what we're doing instead of having Vaughn's Valley. Like, what do we? I just want to know specifically what he had in mind of, hey, let's make this a thing. I want to know what the thing entails before I jump in.
Hunter, why don't you go ahead and follow up on that for us, all right? Jump back in the Carbless Talk and text line and let us know what you mean. How should we use fawn over Vaughn? Because I'm not opposed to it. We just need a little more clarity on how we would implement your Physicality rhyme.
We've heard the beginning pitch. We just want you to finish the pitch.
That's right. All right, we'll get to Adam Schefter here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right after this. Stick around.
Let me tell you about our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For the windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. So that means go to the Pella Experience Center, which is out in Brookfield. You can see, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options. Now, for my house, I didn't need the windows. Maybe you do, and they're fantastic. 7 different Pella lines. Compare them all side by side. So many customizable options. I needed a new front door, and it's coming about a week from now. About a week from now, they're going to be putting on that brand new Pella front door I can't wait. But when they came, again, the customizable options, seemingly endless to make sure that something fits seamlessly into your house.
Stop by soon. If you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years with Pella Windows and Doors, Wisconsin. Certain restrictions apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See all those things side by side. Or schedule your free in-home consultation, like I did, today at PellaWI.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got delays southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol. That's been typical for these past few months. We do have an accident on the off-ramp to Capitol Drive still being worked on. Northbound 41, a little backed up right around the North Avenue curve from Mayfair Road. Other than that, eastbound 94, maybe a quick tap of the brakes from 70th Street to Hawley Road, but overall, everything is looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain or storms likely. Half inch to an inch of rain possible, high of 74. Tonight, showers ending, cloudy, breezy, a low of 64. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Ready to escape to a resort that has it all? The Island Resort and Casino is your total thrill getaway, where championship golf, a luxury spa, world-class gaming, and epic entertainment come together. Tee it up at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Unwind at the Drift Spa. Dine, play, win, repeat. Go all in on an unforgettable getaway. Book your total experience today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, zero bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Wow, a bomb by Yelich. Join the crew for an electric matchup when the Brewers host the Mets August 8th through the 10th. The weekend starts with a celebration at Cerveceros Night on Friday the 8th, featuring makers markets, music, and more. Then don't miss an all-new Christian Yelich bobblehead giveaway on Saturday the 9th, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Close out the series with Sunday matinee baseball and a limited edition Jacob Mizorowski t-shirt giveaway. Grab your tickets at Brewers.com.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move, and he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down, but they didn't go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, it opens up the possibility that they could be back.
Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island. Also brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. First Weber Real Estate Services. The real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. Get started today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Adam Schefter always working tirelessly, texting away, even as we play his intro here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Adam. How you doing today?
Hello, Jen. Hello, Gabe. How are we doing?
I like the T-shirt today. I know that is a cause close to your heart.
Yes, it is, and it's important to always do whatever you can to highlight that, Jen.
Diabetes Sports Project is what he is sporting today. Let's talk about Trey Hendrickson. He has been on my wish list. It has been something I have hoped that the Packers would pursue. With him now reporting to camp, he's been seeking a long-term extension. They had said that they were not going to give him a new deal, but now maybe they are working on a new deal. What's the latest there?
Well, they're not any further along. The difference is that Trey Hendrickson is taking a page out of Terry McLaurin's playbook. And you're not around your teammates. You're not around the facility. You don't have access to the training and lifting. You're on your own. And most important, you're absorbing, when you're gone, a $50,000 a day fine. So why would you do that when you could be there? You could stop the $50,000 fine, stop the meter from running, essentially. Be around your teammates, train on their dime, and be there for face-to-face talks with the organization, right? Like, it just makes sense to do it that way. And wisely, I think, that's what Trey Hendrickson has opted to do here. And he flew back from Jacksonville yesterday, and he's in Cincinnati today. He's going to be in the building. And I think that his hope is that by being there, that can jumpstart negotiations to get something done. That's his hope.
Is it me, or are there more kind of these holdouts? Because I feel like the hold-ins have been the popular thing, Adam, to avoid the $50,000 fine that you've talked about. But between Hendrickson and McLaurin, and yes, they eventually went to camp, it felt like there were more holdouts this year going into training camp. Or is that just a misperception on my part?
Well, Gabe, I would say there were two. It was McLaurin and Hendrickson.
Yeah, because I feel like most of the guys are just want to avoid that $50,000 fine.
I mean, I think Nick Bosa was a holdout. I think CD Lamb was a holdout. Like, there are holdouts. There's one or two seemingly every year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's any more this year than normal. Every year you've got your contract disputes, and it's no different this year. There were two, but both guys are now in camp. But both guys also still are without a deal. And we'll see if and when they can get one of those deals done.
Adam, does it feel like things are better when it comes to the NFLPA and the NFL and all of the drama? You've obviously had some guys who have left their posts and they're trying to figure out what direction they want to go forward. Or do you feel like this is something that is going to linger, especially this maybe mistrust, distrust, lack of trust between the sides? Where are we at with that whole thing?
Well, I just think that it's in a bad spot right now. And not only is it a bad spot right now, but it's in a bad spot at a time where I think players need some help. We've got the Christian Wilkins grievance going on. You've got Rashee Rice, who's awaiting discipline. You got Jordan Addison, who's awaiting discipline. And we don't know where this leadership is coming from right now. We don't know what direction and guidance players are getting. The NFLPA has got its hands full with its own issues, with trying to pick an interim executive director, with trying to find a full-time executive director. There are a whole host of issues going on right now. And so with that being the case, I'm sure the players are going to get assistance, but that organization is not operating as strongly as players would like it to be.
Yeah,
I think that's the fair right now, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great, because when I saw all of this go down, Adam, my initial thought was, oh boy, who are they going to hire? Get them up to speed. And that negotiation for 18 games is coming probably sooner rather than later. And they got to get some strong leadership in place and everybody on the same page for that. And that's a huge undertaking. I didn't even think of the day-to-day stuff. And you had the great reporting around the Christian Wilkins thing happening out in Vegas. I didn't even think about, they probably need leadership for big-time things like that as well.
Yeah, those things are happening right now, right? Like
the
league figure out the discipline. So who do they go to? And I can tell you that I know this to be true. There is a concern among certain people that are involved in disputes about the league, the NFL feeling like it can do what it wants because the union is lacking leadership and power right now and is a place that has been rather chaotic in recent weeks. So the NFL feels like, hey, we're going to do what we want here. We want to suspend this guy this long. We want to do this. Well, the league feels like it's going to have its way right now.
Adam Schefter hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the things going on here in Green Bay is players trying to navigate, I don't want to call them new training camp rules because they've been in place, it feels like, for a while, but that fine line when it comes to physicality in camp. Matt LaFleur irate yesterday at one of his players, or maybe multiple players. Nate Hobbs, who is one of their new cornerbacks, got in trouble, in his words, put in timeout for being too physical with some of the offensive players. How should players navigate this, Adam? Because Chewy has talked about it like back in the day, it was certainly much more physical in training camp. But as they try to, prioritize health and safety of players, it's become a little softer. I said to Gabe this morning, how close are we to just two-hand touch at training camp? How close are we to coaches being like, that's it. Not only can you not go to the ground, you put your hands on him and you take him off.
Well, I'll say this, that every team approaches it differently. Like, I've been at an Andy Reid camp. I remember when I was traveling around on a tour bus, and this was my first year at ESPN, so 15 years ago. And there was a shift then of teams getting away from contact and going to kinder, gentler practices, if you will. And I remember showing up at an Andy Reid practice, which still operates much in this same way today. And the guys were pounding each other. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you just don't see this. So every coach is different. Every coach has a different philosophy. Matt LaFleur may have been irate yesterday. I guarantee if you showed up at the Chiefs today or tomorrow, you'd see some real hitting. And at some point in time, players need to do that. Like, tackling's fundamental, and coaches like to instill that toughness. And the only way you're going to be ready for the tough battles that await is to have some of those tough battles in camp. And so the quandary that I think every coach faces and battles all the time is, okay, you want to have some contact, but you don't want to have too much contact, but you got to get your guys ready, but not at the expense of getting somebody hurt. Like the Dolphins, they just lost their starting cornerback, Kader Kohu, right now for the season, a season-ending injury, a knee injury. We see Maxwell Harrison of the Buffalo Bills going down yesterday. He's undergoing more tests today on his knee. You say you want to get the guys ready, you want to have contact until you lose a guy to injury, and then you don't. And then you're like, okay, let's lighten it up. So I think coaches are constantly trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. And there's no answer. I think you want to have some, but not a lot. You got to do what you can, but don't go overboard.
Right. It's an inexact science, apparently.
It's hard.
One of the other things happening in Green Bay, Elton Jenkins, who did start to practice, wanted some guaranteed money on the back end of his deal. Switching from guard to center, 2 years left on the deal, but no guaranteed money left. Do you think the Packers just didn't want to set the precedent of, hey, you've got 2 years left on your deal. We don't want to be guaranteeing money because of that? What do you think the hesitancy for the Packers was to guarantee money?
If I did not get the details why, I just know that it didn't get done.
Yeah.
And then they activated him off PUP, and he's back. I don't know what happened, but he's a great player. You'd like to think that they take care of him at some point in time. It didn't get done now for whatever reason. That theory is plausible, but I don't have an actual answer for you other than guy deserves to be paid.
Couldn't agree with you more. Just you're asking somebody to change positions, Adam. I think it would be, hey, you scratch your back, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I'll switch positions, just guarantee a little bit money on the back end, and they were just unwilling to do it for whatever reason.
Adam's like, exactly what you said.
Yeah, it seems simple. But why do sometimes in the NFL things that seem simple aren't simple? Because, again, I think it goes back to the Trey Hendrickson thing. Like, to me, hey, that guy led the league in sacks. It seems pretty simple. You should pay that guy. Why do the simple things not always seem so simple?
Some of these things are more complex than I think people realize. Some of them are made more complex than they need to be. Some of them get personal. Some allow feelings to get in the way. It's like any negotiation. You just think about it. And it's not a simple thing to do. Everyone is different. Everyone is unique. You have to go through it on a case-by-case basis. Like Terry McLaurin, everyone's like, pay the man, pay the man. Well, it's just not that simple. What are we paying the man, right? Terry McLaurin would argue that he was in the same draft class as DK Metcalf and that he's outperformed DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf got $33 million. So therefore, logically, Terry McLaurin deserves 33 or more per year, correct?
Seems pretty simplistic logic that I agree with.
Okay, and then I would say to you, Mike Evans got $24 million from the Buccaneers. Cortland Sutton, who's been a great receiver, got $24 million a year from the Broncos. Is Terry McLaurin more Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, or more DK Metcalf?
Yeah, it gets complicated quick.
There we go.
Gets complicated quick.
Well, and of course, all of our loyal listeners yesterday when we were discussing the Elton Jenkins thing were reminding us that he doesn't exist in a vacuum, that there are obviously other players on the roster that you're trying to budget for going forward. And obviously, we always talk about how, well, the cap explodes and there's TV money and all of that type of stuff. But again, they probably have a better handle on it. We just think it's bad optics. We just think like, Elton Jenkins has been a good soldier for this team. He has done everything that they have asked of him. It makes sense to be switching to a position that has less money on the table to say, hey, can you just guarantee me a little more money on this deal? And it's a little bit surprising that their answer is emphatically no. Last thing I have for you today, Adam, our guy, Mike Tannenbaum, put a list together yesterday of the top quarterbacks in the NFC. You can imagine our surprise and delight when he put Jordan Love number 1 on that list, above Jaden Daniels, above Jared Goff, above Jalen Hurts, and above Baker Mayfield. Is Mike Tannenbaum okay?
I'd have to text him to ask him that. You know what? Mike Tannenbaum's son just went off to college, and he's becoming – and clearly his thinking may not be as sound as it would be, if he – and I'm a Jordan Love fan. I really am. I think he's great. He deserves his contract. He's an upper echelon quarterback. I think everybody could agree he's got to cut down on the mistakes to become that type of elite quarterback. If Jordan Love didn't make some of those mistakes, I'd say, yes, that is warranted. If he could eliminate those mistakes, I have no problem with that. But currently, as it stands, I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts is coming off a Super Bowl win. Right now, Jalen Hurts beat him last year. Jalen Hurts had a better year. Now, Jordan Love may turn out to be a better quarterback, certainly, but not right now. And Jaden Daniels had an all-time rookie year. And there's all-time excitement surrounding him. And Baker Mayfield has been incredible. Baker Mayfield, I don't know this off the top of my head, but I like to go by touchdown to interception ratio. I'm going to bet that Baker Mayfield's touchdown to interception ratio over the last couple of years has been better than Jordan Love's. Gabe, maybe you could look that up, make yourself useful here while we're doing this, right? So, to me, it's a situation where, I think Jordan Love's a really good quarterback, and he'd be high in my rankings, but I don't know that he would be number 1.
Well, maybe high is the operative word here where we're talking about the rankings that we are discussing. For whatever it's worth, Jared Goff, the other guy on this list, had a 72.4 completion percentage for the Lions. That was a career high for Goff. Jordan Love's, well, it wasn't that. I believe it was like 63.1 actually.
So the last 2 years, since Jordan Love became a starter, Jordan, his touchdown to interception is 57-22. And Baker Mayfield is 69-26.
So Baker's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
more
better.
touchdowns and a few.
Just a couple more
a
interceptions.
touch more interceptions. Yeah. But about, what'd you say, 10 or a dozen more touchdowns?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if we're watching it objectively over the last 2 years, Baker Mayfield was the better quarterback the last 2 years. Jordan Love may be better than him this year. He may be. But Baker's been really good. Hurts has been really good. Jaden was exciting.
Adam, I got to ask you. Before we let you go. I know it's training camp, and you got a lot of other things on your plate, but it's the Wyndham Championship. This is a big one for a lot of golfers out there on the PGA Tour. How much time do you actually have to put into who you're picking this week in your one and done league?
It's not one and done. It's picking a guy and getting the prize money that he collects. You get points for that.
But once you pick that guy, you can't pick him again,
right? Correct. And we are in the second half pool, Gabe. I know this is not going to excite Jen, but it will interest you. We are in second place.
Ooh, this is a big week.
We are 3 million points behind the first place team.
Okay.
So we need a winner too in the final. There's 3 weeks left, and there are a handful of golfers that the top guys use. So I don't even know. Should I ask you who you would use? Like I'm going back.
Well, I mean, it feels like you haven't really trusted me ever since the whole the Players Championship debacle. So it feels like we've got some work to do on our relationship when it comes to picking golfers.
We started the year off. That was the first tournament of the year. We started the year off on the wrong foot, and haven't recovered since then. So look, but this guy in first place, he's used a group of golfers that include Robert McIntyre, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Keegan Bradley, Adam Novak. So realistically, we probably have to pick one of those guys, although I like some other golfers this week. Who do you feel most confident in this week, Gabe?
I like Novak, but also the really important weeks are the next two, because that's where the big money's on the line. The next two playoff events. Those are the ones you absolutely have to nail with all the money on the line there. I mean, Wyndham, it's nice if you can grab the winner. That puts you in a better position, but I would be trying to plan it out to, okay, who do I want to take the next 2 weeks potentially before I make the decision for this week?
I will give you my golf expertise
I'm going to send that to the group right now.
There you go. Nice job, Gabe. Adam, how did you not make the Happy Gilmore 2 cameo list?
You know what? They invited me out for a day.
I knew it!
And I spent the day. Did I not tell you about this?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he went out to the set. Yeah,
sure, but there were like 72 cameos in the movie. I thought maybe there was a chance we'd see our guy.
But clearly, Jack Giarraputo, Adam Sandler's partner, the producer, he didn't see me worthy of that. So I just got invited out to go meet with Rory and Scotty and Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. I had a great day meeting these guys. Yeah, but they did not deem me worthy of one of the 72 cameos.
That was a mistake. Let me tell you. Okay, that was a mistake, not including our guy.
They probably didn't know at the time, Adam, that you had the versatility of not just being this guy who breaks all this news in the NFL, but also being an on-course golf reporter like you did earlier this year for the Travelers Championship. If they knew you had that skill set, maybe you could have been part of that, the broadcast team for the movie.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's
a missed opportunity on them.
All I think what Gabe is saying is Happy Gilmore 3, book it.
I'm ready. I'm available. That's all I'm saying. I'm available.
All right, Adam. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Adam Schefter, brought to you each and every week by the Island Resort and Casino. It's a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
We've all had those moments walking through the Expo Center at the Wisconsin State Fair and thought, ooh, that would be nice to have. Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy telling you that my purchase of an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas is one of the best things I've ever bought, and it came at the State Fair. I can feel the extra energy and flexibility that I've gained from using my sauna, plus my skin and hair look better than ever. And with the amount that I travel, its detoxification benefits are totally worth it. Visit Good Health Saunas at the Wisconsin State Fair. Full product details are available at goodhealthsaunas.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an east side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisor Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast. We're going behind the scenes with the creators behind Marvel Comics, the stars of the MCU, and Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
celebrate the legacy of your favorite Marvel adventures and characters. The official Marvel Podcast.
I think this show's going to be a real treat.
New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You
called them a white
find someone else
earlier.
From one white stiff to another. I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I let it go, 'cause I won't see you later when we're not allowed to talk it out. I said I'd go, put myself on the show, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Lots of stuff to get to in the second hour of the show, but before we get to that, I got a little... It's not a dilemma, but it was like a uncomfortable interaction that occurred yesterday. So my kiddos are at camp, and I go and pick them up around noon this week. And when I go to pick up my 5-year-old daughter yesterday, gang, the camp counselor, I go to the gate, and I walk through the gate, and I say, Kira! And I put my arms out like a hug, and she leaps up off of her seat, and she runs towards me and gives me a big hug. And the camp counselor says, "Oh, no, Kira, we do not get off of our stump. we stay on our stump until our mommy or daddy gets to us, and then we are allowed to get up, Kira. And I'm like, well, hello, fellow grown-up. It was very off-putting. I was really, like, taken aback. Like, clearly I had yelled, said to her from the gate, like, Kira, like, mommy's here, right? And she stands up and she runs. And then the camp counselor admonished her for doing that instead of saying to me, fellow grown-up, oh, hey, we have a policy. Like, they just have to stay on their stump until you get to them. When there's a lot of kids here, it makes it confusing when they're all running for the gate. And I've been like, oh, yeah, cool, no problem. Like, got it. But, like, oh, no, Kira did not address me one time. Spoke only to the 5-year-old. And I was like, I'm uncomfortable.
You're the one paying for this service. Feels like this is a conversation that should have, happened with you instead of the 5-year-old. Again, a heads up, maybe in the pamphlet. Maybe you didn't read the pamphlet.
Read all the stuff.
Okay,
read all the stuff.
Well, I mean, we just know based on some
yes.
past, speeding ticket, court record things that, could have been avoided in the past where you just didn't read. So I don't know if you read the
we're bringing that up now.
I'm just saying.
I see what you're doing.
I'm
but
just saying, in the past, you haven't read pamphlets handed to you.
I will tell you that was not in the pamphlet. There was no hey, and when you pick up, just for ease, to lessen the chaos, if you will, we're going to have the kids stay on their stumps. And when you approach them, you grab their hand, you walk them out. Again, I'm sure that it's...
Pick them up like a sack of potatoes, throw them over your shoulder, however you do.
Intimidating to have 20 kids running around and trying to match them with their parent, right? It's not Chuck E. Cheese where you got the little stamper. Oh, you got a triangle and you got a triangle. Ding, you're a match. But the fact that she never spoke to me...
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
And so now I have to go today to pick up Kira from camp at noon. And I'm going to be like...
just kind of awkwardly walking to your kid.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, did you make eye contact with this individual?
Yes. But
okay.
She very much was focused on speaking to the 5-year-old. Oh, no, Kira. We have to stay on our stump. And I was like, oh, my God.
Well, again, I feel like this could have been just, hey, next time you come, just go get your kid off the stump.
Now I will, of course.
If you have that conversation, because she's 5. Her parent shows up, yells her name with her arms out. Guess what's going to happen?
Run! Very bizarre. So, yeah, today, I'm going to just try to avoid any interaction, right? Just, mind my P's and Q's.
How much longer is the camp? The rest of the week?
Yes.
So you got 3 more days of this? Or is it just end on Thursday?
It ends on Thursday.
Okay, so only 2 more days.
Traditional camp, by the way. There are no camps on Fridays.
No.
For all of the working parents out there who are trying to figure out what to do with their kids. No camp on Friday. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, though, rolls on right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got some delays southbound 41 now from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. They still have this accident listed on the off-ramp to Capitol Drive from southbound, so just be careful. Northbound is backing up from just before Mayfair Road up past North. Eastbound 94 hitting the brakes at 76th Street to about Hawley Road. Westbound slow from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then southbound 43's got some backups from Good Hope Road down almost to Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with retractable awnings or screens like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain or storms likely, a half inch to an inch of rain possible, a high of 74. Tonight, showers ending, cloudy, breezy, a low of 64. Weather's brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Ready to escape to a resort that has it all? The Island Resort and Casino is your total thrill getaway, where championship golf, a luxury spa, world-class gaming, and epic entertainment come together. Tee it up at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Unwind at the Drift Spa. Dine, play, win, repeat. Go all in on an unforgettable getaway. Book your total experience today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah,
The walks.
Alan Crow is terrible. People knew it.
David Allen Coe?
I had no idea what you meant. Dust on the bottle? What's happening right now?
Second. Oh, my goodness. Pete Crow Armstrong had it measured about a step shy of the wall, and then he just dropped it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
First pitch. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball. The legend of Andrew Vaughn keeps growing. A grand slam. You have got to be kidding me. I guess the question I have, Josh, is when do we put the plaque up on the wall of honor? 0-1 to Birdie. And it's a ground ball to short. Ortiz gobbles it up. Throws to first in time. And the Brewers have won this series against the Chicago Cubs.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans.
If you missed any of our conversation with Adam Schefter, you can always find it on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. With Adam Schefter, we discussed Mike Tannenbaum's list yesterday on First Take. Now, the list was, and I'm going to pull up the First Take tweet that we shared, Mike Tannenbaum's list, top 5 NFC QBs. And in case you missed our conversation with Adam Schefter, I'm going to reset the list for you. At number 5, he has Baker Mayfield. At number 4, he has Jalen Hurts. At number 3, he has Jared Goff. At number 2, Jaden Daniels. And at number 1, quarterback of your Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love. Now that, of course, was a surprise to his fellow panelists Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith. But I want you to listen to Mike Tannenbaum's explanation for why he put Jordan Love as the number 1 quarterback in the NFC. Take a listen.
How is Jordan Love number 1, though?
If we got to go play a game right now today, he's the guy that's going to be under center for me. He has the most ability, and to me, he has the most upside. So we're going to win for today, and we're going to keep developing for tomorrow. And if you just take away, look, he had 11 interceptions a year ago. You take away 3 or 4 of those throws, which were made because he has supreme confidence.
Oh, my God.
He has more ability and talent than anybody else. Who would you put above him?
Everybody else on the list.
And with Adam Schefter just a few moments ago, we actually went through why each of those other quarterbacks has a case. Now, Gabe, as you and I were discussing, Mike Tannenbaum has a long history of loving Love. 2024, 2023, he is a big fan of Jordan Love. Do you buy that from a potential standpoint, from what he is capable of, from a ceiling standpoint, because that's what it seems like Tannenbaum is using here as his explanation, Jordan Love could exceed all of these other quarterbacks' careers?
I mean, maybe. I mean, he's got a lot of potential, yes, but you know who also has potential and produced more than Jordan Love last year? Number 2 on this list.
I'm just thinking of that commercial with the Pinocchio. You have potential. You have potential.
Well, it's again, I love that he has this kind of confidence in Jordan, and I think a lot of Packer fans have that same confidence, but you can't put him on the top of the list and then go, oh, well, he's got all this potential. Well, so does Jaden. Doesn't Jaden Daniels have the equal amount of potential, if not more, for being a number 2 overall pick and then leading his team to an NFC Championship
in
game
his first season? Yeah, there is that. And then the other element of it is that he also said, if he doesn't throw X number of interceptions, well, sure, but those happen, right? Like, I understand that it's hard.
If you take away all the bad plays, Jen, and only focus on the good ones, when you focus on the good ones, everybody else, you got to count everything. But for Jordan, if you take out the bad ones and focus on the good ones, then yes, he's number 1 on this list.
Yeah, and so I think that what this is from Mike Tannenbaum is sort of a confirmation bias type thing, because he has been so in Jordan's camp, because he has been so pro Jordan Love, because he really thinks that he can have a very high level elite career. I would even dare say Hall of Fame from a Mike Tannenbaum standpoint. Sure. So there's a part of me that thinks like, well, this is just you continuing to defend a position you have taken, because to put him any lower on the list might undermine that previous stance.
Yeah, if you want to put together a list based on potential, sure.
But how do you even measure potential? Like,
well, he's a general manager, so he's going to tell you with his eyes.
You have potential.
How did you find that so fast?
The internet. It's a magical place.
I guess if I were to put this list together, and I think that's what we should do, Gabe, I want to hear these 5 quarterbacks, the order that you would put them in. I have to default to what is, again, not trying to reinvent the wheel here, the easiest, most logical, and that is that Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl.
Well, and he's also finished second in an MVP voting.
So for me, Jalen Hurts has to be number 1 on the list. And then I would go Jared Goff. And you may say, oh, he's not that good.
Goff's not on my list.
But I'm saying of these 5. Of these 5 that are listed
Goff's
here.
5. Because Matthew Stafford should be ahead of Goff.
Matthew Stafford should be on the list likely, but I actually really like what Jared Goff did last year. Like, I really think that, yes, you could argue again, he's surrounded by the Avengers, as we have often said about the San Francisco 49ers as well. He's got a ton of talent surrounding him, but he really elevated his level of performance.
Especially that 5 interception game that he had.
You cut it out.
Really good. So good. He was spectacular. I mean, the way he turned the ball over in that game against Washington in the playoffs, I was impressed.
Are you telling me that a guy can't have a bad day?
Sure, but if you want to make number 2 on a list, you can't have that many bad days.
I have Jared Goff over Jaden Daniels because there is a concern of mine, as good as I think Jaden Daniels is, that could be a flash-in-the-pan season. Chewy has always talked about the sophomore slump. There's an idea that he could do a backslide. I think that's his point on Washington this year. So while I am so impressed, and I thought what Jaden Daniels did last season was remarkable, I would like to see him duplicate it season in and season out before I am willing to put him higher on the list.
Yeah, to me, Jared Goff, he elevated his game to a different level with Ben Johnson. So now he has to prove he can do it without Ben Johnson. And he had those huge turnover games with Ben as his guy. And he just turns the ball over too frequently for me to put him higher than... Again, I'd probably even have Jordan higher than him. Again, I'm putting him at number 5 on my list because I don't think he should even... The fact that he's number 3, to me, him being number 3 on this list is more egregious than Jordan being 1.
So let's go back to now Jordan Love versus Baker Mayfield. And when you talk about potential, obviously Baker Mayfield is a Heisman Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick in the league. Now, you could argue it didn't work out with his first team, but he seems to have found a very stable home and has been very successful in Tampa Bay. There's a part of me that feels like these two are neck and neck. And if you want to go to the statistic that Adam Schefter brought up in our conversation of touchdowns to interceptions, Baker Mayfield actually has the edge in that.
He does. So, he's got the edge in a lot of stats. If you're picking Jordan Love, it's based all on what you think your eyes are telling you. Baker completed over 70% of his passes last year.
Did I say 73? Did I say 73?
71. 71.4 is what he did last year with Tampa Bay. Like, Jordan hasn't done that. He led the league in touchdown passes last year to Baker Mayfield. Jordan hasn't done that. 41 touchdown passes, that's a lot. And I understand he's got a lot of really good talent around him, and that's if you're going to pick Jordan over Baker, you're going to, I think it's more of a potential thing. I think we've seen the best of Baker Mayfield. The question for him is, can he sustain it? I don't know if we've seen the best of Jordan Love. Because I have a hard time believing Baker Mayfield is going to be able to do what he did again last year and do it again this year. because those are all career high numbers for him. The 71.4% completion percentage, 4,500 yards passing, like that's all going to be very difficult, I think, to replicate for him.
And look, I use this phrase all the time on this program and in life, is that this particular thing does not exist in a vacuum. That couldn't be truer for an NFL quarterback, right? They're so reliant on their offensive line to protect them. They're so reliant on their wide receivers to not only get open, but catch the dang ball as opposed to dropping the ball. And you could certainly watch last year's Packers team and say, there are some egregious errors going on around Jordan Love. But to me, not enough to excuse away the level of production and make a case for him being number one on this list.
Yeah. Because, again, the potential is there. He has to put it together. And for me to put him on number one on any list, NFC, we talked about this when ESPN.com came out with their top 10 quarterbacks, and they were ranking every position.
Well, but you would put him as top quarterback in the NFC North.
Yes. But we were talking about 12 seemed about right when he came out on that list. That seemed about right, just outside the top 10. Can he get himself into that top 10 with more consistent play, cutting down on the mistakes that Mike Tannenbaum talked about? Yeah, if he can cut those out, then maybe he could be number one on a list like this. But he has to go out and prove that he can cut out those mistakes. Because some of the mistakes, especially early in the season, egregious. Like, I think of the pick six that he threw against Detroit at home. Like, throw the ball away. And he just, I didn't even think there was a receiver in the area. Just threw it and, okay, here's free 6 points. Those are the types of things you have to avoid if you want to have a better record than 1-5 in the division, if you want to be better than the 7 seed and be able to make a deep run.
800-990-3776. That's our carbless talk and text line. We're going to put this on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll. The question is this. By season's end, will Jordan Love be the number one quarterback in the NFC? By season's end. Now, Gabe, that would mean, in my opinion, an NFC championship appearance at the least. Like, you could make the argument, well, no, you got to win the NFC championship game in order to be the best quarterback in the NFC because then somebody outdueled you. But there's extenuating circumstances. To me, there has to be an NFC championship appearance in order to validate or justify Jordan Love being the number one quarterback in the NFC. So let's put that on the poll. Do you think by season's end, he will be the number one quarterback in the NFC? Shout out Mike Tannenbaum of ESPN. We'll take a break here on the show, roll on right after this. But before we do, let me tell you about my friends over at Good Health Saunas. You guys know the State Fair is coming up very quickly. I believe it starts tomorrow. And if you're making your way through the Expo Center and you happen to stumble upon the Good Health Saunas site, why don't you walk through? Take a look at what they have to offer, because that's what I did a couple of years ago. Was walking through and I thought I'd always wanted to have a sauna. I know about the health benefits. I'm always trying to, protect my longevity. And that's what the Good Health Sauna has done for me. I have more energy, more flexibility. My skin looks better. The detox benefits are huge, especially once football season rolls around and I am traveling and I'm breathing in all that plain air. I know that when I go in my Good Health Sauna, I will sleep better and feel better. Come see for yourself at the Wisconsin State Fair. It is starting up tomorrow, runs for the next 10 days. You can see them at the Expo Center. GoodHealthSaunas.com is another place where you can check out everything they have to offer. In fact, if you go GoodHealthSaunas.com/Jen, we're going to give you $500 to $800 off your purchase. What a deal. Go to the Wisconsin State Fair, visit my friends at the Good Health Sauna site inside the Expo Center, and tell them Jen sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along slowly on 41 southbound from just before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. The northbound side is backing up from Watertown Plank Road up to Capitol. We've got eastbound 94 backed up just before 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. The westbound side heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And southbound 43 a little bit backed up from Good Hope Road down towards Silver Spring. Beyond that, you're looking good all the way into the Marquette. Traffic is sponsored by the Bud Pavilion's live music. So Starting tomorrow with the Glam Band at the Wisconsin State Fair. 33 local cover bands over 11 days. Make plans to stop by the Bud Pavilion. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain or storms probable. Half inch to an inch of rain possible with a high of 74. Tonight, showers ending cloudy and breezy, a low of 64. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and The Pickler is coming to Menominee Falls with 9 indoor pickleball courts and unlimited play. Leagues, tournaments, clinics, all included in your membership. The club opens August 16th, but founder memberships are on sale right now at a discounted rate with 3 months free compared to the regular price. Head over to thepickler.com, click on the Menominee Falls page, and lock in your spot today. The Pickler, P-I-C-K-L-R, your home for pickleball.
Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Bumble is a dating app.
It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
We've got some defense of Jordan Love in the Carbless Talking text line. We've got some people who agree that he needs to show more. For example, Adam in the 262 says, I'm a Packers fan through and through and want nothing but success for them. But even wearing green and gold beer goggles, I cannot say Jordan Love is the number one quarterback in the NFC. I actually have a hard time finding him in the top 5. I have Hurts, Goff, Daniels, Mayfield, Stafford, then Love.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's better than Goff, and I'll stand by that. I think he still is in that top 5. I think Jared Goff certainly benefited from the guy that he had calling plays for him last year. We'll see if that affects, if that's something that he's going to have to overcome, not having his offensive coordinator. I would put Love ahead of him, so I have Love in my top 5, but Again, that's what we've talked about with Jordan Love. I think everybody agrees at this point. Through his first 2 years of his career, Jordan Love has proven that he is certainly a capable NFL starting quarterback. He has proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt. The only question is now, how good can he be? How good he belongs. Without a doubt, he belongs. He is a starting caliber quarterback. How high can he climb on that list? How much can he eliminate the mistakes and continue to make some of the big plays that he's made? I mean, particularly in the second half of his first season as a starter, and then there was a nice stretch in the middle part of last season after he had come back from the knee injury, kind of in November into early December before they lost their final 3 games of the regular season, or final 3 games of the season.
Alan weighing in the 414 saying, being literally one fingertip away from 0-6 in the division to QB1 in the NFC. As much as I would like to see that, I think I need to start drinking the same creamer that Tannenbaum is using in his coffee.
Maybe we should. I've got Mike T's number. Should I reach out, see what he's drinking, see if we can all start drinking that? Do you think, would that be helpful?
Would it be good if we all were drunk on Jordan Love?
It's kind of worth finding out, don't you think?
You're such a company guy. There's no chance you'd be willing to be drunk on company time.
I'm curious about
ever.
it now.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know A, what he's drinking, and B, what happens if we all do it?
Mike and Racine, though, says Jordan Love will definitely be the number 1 quarterback in the NFC. Let's not be too critical here. He was just trying to make a play against Detroit. It just jumped on me as more people are continuing to weigh in on Jordan Love. It's not like he's throwing to ghosts. Love is a premier. He's the only quarterback on that top 5 list who did not have a bona fide number 1 stud target. Everyone else has a bona fide number 1, and that says a lot. And again, we mentioned this earlier, that he doesn't exist in a vacuum. He is sort of at the mercy of the personnel around him. We think that the offensive line has done a pretty good job of protecting him for the most part. But do you buy that he doesn't have the same level of weapons that some of those other guys on the list have?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, you go to a man, you take a look at everybody on that list.
You could even go too deep, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, before you start getting to where Jaden Reed was the 43rd ranked wide receiver. We've had that conversation a bunch. Maybe Matthew Golden can change that narrative for the Packers this year. But, yeah, their lack of a stud receiver certainly hurts. So I understand, we've got all this depth. I think that the teams that are the best at this tend to have a guy that they trust. And we're hoping that maybe that's Kraft, maybe that's Golden, that somebody emerges for the Packers this season.
And perhaps that is a defense of Mike Tannenbaum's position where he believes that Matthew Golden will be that bona fide standout number 1 wide receiver and give Jordan Love the opportunity to take his game to the next level. Tony C says green and gold beer goggles would be a great name for an ESPN Milwaukee Packers podcast. Write it down.
Well, I mean, clearly, but you can't ever say anything negative about the Packers. Like if we're doing that podcast, it's just all positive all the time.
Do you need to say beer goggles? Can't you just say goggles, green and gold goggles?
Yeah, but it's Wisconsin, so you got to do beer goggles. I feel like the beer goggles is a necessary.
I got to be honest with you. Since we're in Wisconsin, it feels a little redundant. Feels like people should know, right?
We just because of the beer, you have to be very clear about what you're talking about.
Speaking of that, you guys, I saw a post on Instagram the other day, and it was a tournament, a baseball tournament. It was not in state; it was somewhere else, and it literally was Wisconsin baseball parents, and everyone was cracking a cold one. Okay, so this was a parent from another state at a tournament where there was a Wisconsin baseball team, and all of the parents of the Wisconsin players were cracking cold ones on the sideline, and it literally said, Wisconsin baseball parents go hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, how else are you going to get through a game that's got 14 errors? You gotta have something that takes the edge off at least a little bit.
It's a tournament. Theoretically, they shouldn't be committing 14 errors in a game.
Depends upon the age group we're talking about.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to. I do still want to break down the conversation we were having with Adam Schefter about physicality in the league at training camp. Chewy has talked about it. It is very different from when they were playing, and coaches are trying to find that happy medium, that sweet spot of how much tackling they can do, how physical their guys can be out there on the field. We'll discuss that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Have you heard that Palermo's partnered with Cheez-It to make a Cheez-It frozen pizza? That's right. Wait, Cheez-It frozen pizza? Wait, how do they do that? Yeah, Cheez-It frozen pizza, the unexpected collaboration snack fans did not know that they needed. 12-inch, ultra-thin. Of course, it's going to be square because, it's Cheez-It after all. And it's a crispy, original Cheez-It flavor crust made with 100% real cheese. Yeah, of course, you would expect that. Paired with your favorite pizza toppings to remind you of the irresistible cheesy flavor you love. And all month long, Cheez-It frozen pizza on sale. Just $7.99 at all Pick and Save locations. Grab one and try it today. Month end is coming soon. It's tomorrow. If you haven't tried Cheez-It frozen pizza from our friends at Palermo's, stop by Pick and Save. Grab one for $7.99. Let us know what you think. Because again, this is something that only Palermo's can do. An original idea, and you know it's going to be great because when it comes to premium frozen pizza, Palermo's knows what they're doing. So try it. Cheez-It frozen pizza today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We had a lot of rain coming down, especially in the southern areas. That means you have to have your headlights on. Trust me, you want to do this. It's kind of dark out there. Visibility is not great. So northbound 94, we have a crash now at the ramp from 7 Mile Road. It's off on the left shoulder, actually off on the right shoulder. Be very careful if you're driving through that whole area. It's wet out there. You want to keep your speeds in check. Southbound 41, slowing from Appleton Avenue to Capitol. Northbound slow from Mayfair Road up past Capitol Drive as well. We've got eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side heavy from 25th to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Mostly cloudy, afternoon rainstorms likely. We have rain coming down in the southern areas anyways. Anywhere from half an inch to an inch of rain possible for the day. A high of 74. Tonight, showers ending, cloudy, breezy, a low of 64. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm going to start this conversation by admitting I don't have the answer here. And it didn't seem like Adam Schefter did either, and maybe, Gabe, you don't have the answer either. But I still think it is worth discussing, especially yesterday after Matt LaFleur absolutely lost his bleep at practice, right? Like, people who are at training camp day in and day out said they had never seen him this fired up, this lit. And so what it goes back to is figuring out the level of physicality that Matt LaFleur wants at his training camps. You know, when you look around the league, and this was a really good point by Adam Schefter, it varies. I believe I have seen that Dan Campbell has broken up multiple fights at Lions training camp.
They have a very physical camp. That's something that they've always done since he arrived. That's part of the culture he wanted to build in Detroit.
Okay. So how does Matt LaFleur find the right recipe? How does he find that sweet spot of, to all the things that Adam said, you're trying to teach technique, you're trying to, make sure these guys are ready to go when the actual season starts, and yet you're also trying to protect health and safety. You're trying to make sure nobody is injured at this time of year, which puts you behind the 8 ball for when the games actually matter. Like, what is your solution for getting these guys adequately prepared to play a very physical, very demanding game, but also maintain a level of health headed into the season?
Well, I mean, when it comes to Hobbs in the situation that happened a couple of days ago at camp, I mean, Chewy talked about it yesterday. You don't go low. It seems like he went low. He took responsibility. He's a physical guy, and that's something they clearly want to be more physical. That's something that was noted by Brian Gutekunst yesterday. Hey, this is we need a little bit more of that physicality. Yesterday, it seemed to start with Rasheed Walker, and that incident happened after the whistle. Like, play is over. He ended up dragging Kingsley Enagbare to the ground. They both go down, and I can understand why that would piss off a coach. Like, hey, yeah, we want you to play hard. We want you to be a little bit more physical. But after the whistle's done, like, that's the stuff that you can't have. Because after a play's done, if you let's say his leg gets stuck in the ground, and then you end up having an injury because of something that happened after the whistle in a training camp practice. That's the tough one that's hard to explain. That's why I think LaFleur was ticked off about that. I don't know what else happened at practice that led him to go off on the team after it was done. Most of the reporting I saw said they couldn't understand what was being said by LaFleur. Just could hear a couple of the expletives that was going off. And LaFleur's not necessarily a fiery guy, right? He kind of has that reputation. So when he's that fiery at practice, it's worth noting. And I'm sure he's going to be asked about it today because he did it in front of everybody. Don't know what was said, but he lit up his team, not in the locker room, but on the practice field where everybody in attendance could see, including media. So I'm sure he's going to be asked about it today. Jordan Love tried to brush it off after practice, but he called out Tucker Kraft. Hey, we got to be better with the football. Kraft seemed to take it somewhat in stride based on some of the quotes I saw. Some of it in jest, some of it, I think that maybe bothered him a little bit. And to the matter of, hey, maybe there's some truth in the jokes that he was trying to make while sitting in front of his locker. It seems to be a little bit of a different Matt LaFleur. And I'm curious to see how he answers questions today. I cannot wait to talk to Jason tomorrow to see what he thinks about Matt LaFleur and the way he has handled himself during the early parts of training camp.
I am all for controlled physicality, but I also recognize that there is one just embedded in the game of football, a level of playing just on the edge there, right? So that's what guys are being asked to do day in and day out, certainly when the games matter, when the games count. I have a tough time understanding how you practice at a different level and then are supposed to just flip a switch when the regular season starts. And we sometimes see it, Gabe, right? We have talked about at times like, wow, they're really struggling to tackle. And Chewy's go-to is always, well, they don't practice it. Mm-hmm. If you don't practice tackling, then how are you expected to be good at it? And that goes for most things, honestly. So I find this fascinating. As the league continues to prioritize health and safety, and every year it feels like we get a little bit further and further away from the game that Chewy was playing back in the day, how then do you also reward guys like a Nate Hobbs, who I don't think is competing for a spot? That's the other thing, right? Like some of these guys are actually competing for spots.
He's physical. He plays hard. That's who he is as a player.
Right, and we've talked about that when we talk about Giannis too, right? Like, is there a way that Giannis, towards the end of the regular season, can maybe take his foot off the gas a little bit? And what do people always say? No. He can't.
That's part of who he is.
He only knows how to play one way. So this to me is fascinating because it is sort of a dilemma. It is sort of like you want to go out there, you want to show what you can do, you want to get yourself as close to ready to play the game for when they matter in a few weeks, while also not going 100%. I really just find this whole philosophy fascinating.
Well, I mean, and Chewy talks about it yesterday. I don't think you can go 100% in NFL practice. I mean, You're pretty beat up by the end of the season anyway for going 100% in 17 games. So going 100% in practices as well is just going to beat up your body even more. And that is the fine line of, okay, what is too much, what's not too much. And it seems like the Packers want to be more physical and are maybe struggling with that transition of what that looks like. Because Dan, you mentioned Dan Campbell. He knows what he wants his camp to look like. New from day
Andy
one.
Reid is the example
Andy Reid's been around for 1,000 years.
That Adam used, right? And I think there have actually been fists thrown at Andy Reid's camps this year as well. So, again, one of the criticisms has been that Dan Campbell has Matt LaFleur's number. You know, and I'm not saying you should adopt Dan Campbell's way of thinking, because we always talk about how important authenticity is and being who you are, and don't try to be someone else and don't try to channel their energy or their. But there is a part of me that is like, I don't know that this is being played 100% correctly, because I want guys to be rewarded for being physical if that's the way you want them to play during the regular season.
Yeah, but again, there's a code. You got to protect yourselves. You can't go low. Can't do what Hobbs did. And when the whistle's blown, you can't be pulling guys down. Can't be taking guys down after the whistle, especially your own teammates. So I understand why maybe Matt LaFleur and the team is kind of struggling with that a little bit. Hey, maybe he had been preaching, we want to be more physical. Now the guys are being, well, not that physical, guys. We got to rein this in. And maybe that's what he's trying to do yesterday. It's a tough line, again, to walk a tightrope. But I think in these two specific examples, it's easy to see why he would be upset. Going low on a running back in practice when you're not wearing, again, you're only wearing shoulder pads. You're only wearing shorts. So you can't go low to bring him down in practice.
But now that you've brought that up, I want to hear from Brian Gutekunst, because Brian Gutekunst is claiming that Marshawn Lloyd's injury did not occur on the hit from Nate Hobbs. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously working through, I think, as he kind of came, around the corner there, he planted to change directions. I think something grabbed on him a little bit, so they're doing the testing now, and I think they'll probably know more today and see where that goes. But
just to clarify, does that mean that the injury was not related to the contact with Nate Hobbs?
Didn't look like it. It looked like as he came into it, yeah.
What did you make of that? What did you make of Goody's explanation, quote unquote, of the injury and how it contradicted what we had heard?
Sure. I mean, that's possible. And he was listed as a groin injury. Doesn't change that you can't go low on your guy, because that's a dangerous play. Like, you can't go low on your own teammate.
But did it feel like Goody in some way was trying to not defend the action, but like take the heat off of Hobbs a little bit by saying that the injury did not occur on that play?
Didn't seem like it to me, because I don't know how you if, again, the action, maybe it didn't cause the injury, and I guess that can make it worse. I just look at it in a practice of, if you go low, okay, now that means Nate Hobbs got lucky. You went low on your own teammate. Okay, you didn't cause the injury and there was something else there, but you still can't be doing that, because that's what causes injuries. So the heat, to me, should probably still be on Nate Hobbs. And I don't think Matt LaFleur is going to take the heat off of Nate Hobbs, seeing as how he had to talk to him twice about dialing in the physicality at practice.
Reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776. AC and Tosa says LaFleur wants that contract extension. That's why he's so fired up this offseason. Meanwhile, Chef Ed says...
but that has to be factored in. The fact that policy came in, said, I don't want to lame duck, but also I'm not going to be extending these guys. And while the Packers would have to go like 4-13 or 5-12 in order for them, I think, to actually lose their jobs. But wanting that contract extension is pressure in its own way, and I don't think that can be ruled out. I think that has to be factored into this whole thing as well. Like, hey, okay, we have to be better. All right, how do we do what we do and try to elevate it? And maybe Matt LaFleur's feeling that pressure a little bit.
Chef Ed, meanwhile, weighing in saying LaFleur is trying to change his reputation of being soft. Do you think there's anything to that? You think LaFleur is aware that there is a perception? And again, it's all relative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we keep using Dan Campbell as the example, but when you say biting kneecaps in your introductory press conference, that has a tendency to follow you around, right? And so he has always been. Isn't there a story also that's circulating? I feel like I saw it on social media that in college at Texas A&M, the coach asked Dan Campbell to start a fight at practice. I feel like I saw that recently as well. So this is what we're talking about. And it's not just some arbitrary coach out there in the ether of the NFL. No, it's a guy in your division who has had your number in recent years. Is there any part of you that thinks that LaFleur is trying to actively show that he is tougher than he seems?
I doubt it. I think they just do want to be more physical. I don't think the Lions thing comes into play because I think of the tree that he came off of, Kyle Shanahan, McVay, other guys that have had successes that run similar camps, Kevin O'Connell up in Minnesota. And I just feel like it's a thing where you don't necessarily, you want to change who you are. You want to be a little bit more physical. Maybe that's something they've looked at and going, hey, this is how we can get ourselves to that next level, prepare ourselves a little bit differently. I doubt that, because again, that's not who Matt LaFleur is. Like, I don't think Matt LaFleur's ever going to run a camp the way that Dan Campbell does. And trying to do that would rob of authenticity, would rob the team of buy-in, because you don't buy into a coach you feel is being phony, right? Like, you just don't do that. You want that guy who's going to be genuine. So, yeah, I think clearly they want to make some subtle changes, but I don't think they want to make changes all the way to what the Lions are doing in that level of physicality.
What'd you find, Will?
Yeah, so it was Bill Parcells when he was the coach and Dan Campbell was a tight end on the team. It says practice on a Wednesday was going bad, and Coach Parcells called Dan Campbell over, had a little talk with him, and then he leaned over to, I believe it was Todd Haley, I think he was the wide receivers coach, and said, watch this, Todd, and then Dan Campbell started a fight.
Wait, so this was when he was playing with the Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it was Cowboys. I thought it was in college.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say if Bill Parcells was the one. Again,
at Texas A&M.
Knowing what we know about Bill Parcells, knowing what we know about Dan Campbell. Fun story, not that shocking.
I will tell you this. It does back up Josh's theory, which is Jen knows a lot of stories. 75%. She knows 75%.
I looked up the keywords. It was the first thing that came up, so that's all that matters.
She knows 75% of a lot of stories, which is accurate.
We got ourselves most of the way there.
The open road is calling your name, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn some major rubber on the custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. I was down at Potawatomi the other day. They got the motorcycle sitting right there. It's right between Rock and Brews and where you can bet with the kiosks for the sports book. And if you play with your rewards card in July, you will be entered in for drawings. Fire Up Your Fantasy is only at Potawatomi. There is more information available online. Must be 21 years old and a rewards member to play.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for the best spot to hang out at the Wisconsin State Fair? Head to Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill on the corner of Grandstand Avenue and 2nd Street. Enjoy the best music lineup at the fair, plus crowd favorites like French onion cheese curds and meatloaf and mashed bomb pops. Join the Taste Great Less Filling contest daily at 3 p.m. to win Brewers tickets, and don't miss the Miller Lite Toast from 5:30 to 7:15. Catch 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee broadcasting live on August 4th and 5th with chances to win swag, prizes, and more. For more details, visit lefts.com, and we'll see you at Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. You've probably heard of speed dating, but what if there was something similar for hiring, especially if you're running a growing business? There is Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet and greet people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Siding Unlimited is your local family-owned and operated resource for remodeling your home. We specialize in replacing windows, siding, roofing, doors, and decks. I say specialize because that is who we send to your home. Our team is built around the experts in all fields. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Waukesha.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting choked up over it. So, hold on. Give me a moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Brewers and Cubs back in action this afternoon at AmFam Field. Brewers have already won the series, but let's see if we can sweep the Cubs, shall we? Freddie Peralta on the hill and his 2.81 ERA. Gabe, you'll be at the game today, right?
I will be there. Was there Monday night, there today. All 3 games sold out.
Awesome.
All 3 games sold out. So,
but you said percentage, it was what, 60-40 Brewers Cubs?
On Monday, yeah. I'm curious what today is with the day game, if we'll have more Brewers fans, if more Cubs fans are coming up. So I'm curious to see.
Freddie Peralta out at Potawatomi, over 7.5 to get plus odds. You can get minus 105 at 6.5 strikeouts, but it's over 7.5. So 8 or more strikeouts for Freddie Peralta to get plus odds. That's plus 190. Would you?
No, it seems like a lot. It's a lot of strikeouts. It's decent. This is a decent Cubs lineup. I would not. I would not go that high.
Over 6.5? It's minus 105.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, again, which is about as even as you're going to get. So that seems about right.
Will, what about you? Feel a little more optimistic about Freddie's ability to strike out the Cubs?
I would take the 6.5. Freddie, like stereotypical Freddie outing is like 7 innings, and I think in 7 innings he can average a strikeout per inning.
Let's see what we can find here for the last handful of starts here
All
for
right,
Freddie.
You pull that up. Obviously, we'd like to know how many strikeouts Freddie averages for his starts. Looking at some of the other stuff happening here. Andrew Vaughn obviously had the big game last night. I don't know that I would feel comfortable putting any money on him, but you can get plus 270 if you think he's going to get 2 hits in the game. And I think one's more likely.
I mean, he's hit a home run in each of the last couple of games. So Freddie struck out 9 against Miami his last time out in 5 innings. Previous start, he also just went 5 innings against the Dodgers, had 4 strikeouts. Against Washington before that, 6 2/3, 7 strikeouts. Dodgers on the start of the run right now going on by Andrew Vaughn. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, and then he had 6 innings, 6 strikeouts against the Mets on the 2nd of July.
Yeah, that's where the 7.5 feels a little bit like a reach.
Yeah,
right?
so he's only going over 7.5 once this month.
And that was the Marlins.
That was the Marlins his last time out when he had 9 in 5.
Who, even though they did beat the Brewers in the series, do not have the most intimidating lineup.
That's correct.
Thank you. Yes.
That is a wise assessment.
Here
yes.
are the other options that you have as far as hits go. You can't really get plus odds on anybody for hits out at Potawatomi. As far as a single hit, because again, this lineup is pretty good and pretty consistent with guys getting hits. But if you want to go 2, if you think there's a guy out there who has 2 hits in him today, Blake Perkins is plus 450. Bryce Terang is plus 425. Christian Yelich is plus 350 for 2 hits for Christian Yelich. So over 1.5 would get you plus 350 if you think Christian Yelich has 2 hits in him today.
Betting on somebody to have more than
one
a
hit, I know,
in any baseball game
that's how I feel,
is the purest form of gambling. Just the purest form of gambling.
Correct.
I'm more of a total bases guy myself.
Yeah?
I like total bases.
I don't
like
even know if
you can get a double over 1.5 total bases or 2 hits.
You can bet on total doubles by the player. Andrew Vaughn to have over a half of a double plus 425. Really good odds, though, there for doubles if you think the guy has extra bases in him, essentially. So that game going on. Oh, we did want to give you an update on Jackson Chourio.
So Jackson left the game last night. I was holding my breath. A lot of Brewers fans holding their breath as he grabbed at his hamstring.
Not only were you holding your breath, but you dropped a 4-letter expletive into the text chain.
And that was not the only text chain I dropped that 4-letter expletive into. But it appears that he is going to be okay. He described it more as a cramp. He said it was a tickle as he rounded first and then felt more like a cramp by the time he got to third. They classified it as a hamstring spasm, which was a new one on me. So we'll wait and see what that means for him, if he's going to play today or if they're going to give him some time off.
Hamstring spasm is the new one for you? I've never heard of somebody calling a spasm a tickle before. You got a little tickle in my hamstring.
There's a language barrier there, so I'm willing to excuse whatever, you know.
Got a little tickle in my leg. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody. Go Brewers!
Well, wrapping things up, we do have a crash on 894 eastbound right about at 27th Street. The left lane is blocked. Looks like a car went into the median wall there, so be extra careful heading through that area. Wet road.